How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. It did end up having a red day on the Friday, but there's one thing I want to bring to your attention. It ended up pulling back to $5.01, and it had quite the rebound. And this is one of the reasons why I talk about doing technicals and looking at support and resistance levels. Knowing that 5 is a big time support level for BBIG, you can expect to have a strong bounce. So when many people will ask me, okay, when is the best time to buy? Should I be buying in at the highs? It seems to be the case, right? Whenever stock's running up, that's when people want to buy. You don't do that. If you know and you've been paying attention to the technicals we talk about in this video, you could have gotten in at that $5 range and be able to take advantage of that bounce that occurred. But you know what? I won't waste any more time. Let's just jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance, especially going into Monday. We want to know the bullish case scenario as well as the bearish case scenario. If you're paying attention, of course, this gives you the opportunity to maximize your entries. But you know, this is not financial advice. And then afterwards, we're going to be jumping on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. We already know already by taking a look at the borrow fees, knowing what the short volume ratio is, knowing what the short shares availability is, this is going to have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then afterwards, we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what is the buying and the selling behavior like on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $5.19, being down 13.36%. On the low, it tested $5.01, and then on the high, testing $5.57. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 49.948 million shares, and then for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 69.753 million shares. So we did end up having below average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we ended up seeing some pressure in the stock, and of course due to the market conditions like the Trump stocks grabbing the attention of traders. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is a 1-year daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it's right at 41.56. So of course this is not something that we're used to seeing BBIG at. It was making some moves previously. And then when we take a look at the moving averages on our chart, we are below the 21-day EMA as well as the 50-day. You can see we're right above the 100-day and we're also above the 200-day as well. So what I'd want to see going into Monday, and one thing I want to point out as well, you want to see strength right here at this $5 level. When we did test $5.01, we ended up having a strong bounce, making a move. You could see we have a high here of $5.57, and then on top of that, in the after hours, we got to a high of $5.84, and we had a low at $5.38. So when you see it hitting 5 like that, that's a buying opportunity, because we could also see in the past this was an area of support for BBIG. So again, many traders took advantage of this move. Now, as far as what I want to see going into the open tomorrow, it'd be great to hold up the $5 level. If we end up breaking through the $5 level, then the next area of support that I want to see hold, and again, we've kind of shown this in the past, is right here around this $4.77 level. If we have a pullback, if we're able to hold up 5 or even go into the open at $5, then of course I'm going to be looking forward to seeing us get past this $5.57 resistance that we experienced on the Friday. If we are able to do this, I'm looking for us to fill in that gap to get here to $5.85, and of course we know $6 will be a psychological area, many looking to do profit taking and so forth. But I do believe if we gain some momentum above 6 and catch the 50-day right here around $6.32, we can really start bringing in the attention of more traders into the play, pushing the volume up and having that buying pressure. So let's see how it performs going in on Monday. And as far as for the rest of the week, and I'm going to continue to keep you guys updated. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for BBIG. So for the dark pool short volume ratio, it is at 38.54%. And then for the dark pool short volume being just over 9.5 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 200 350,000 updated just now. And then for the short borrow fee rate being at 83.20%. So that is fairly high. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 21st, which was last week Thursday, it was at 25.81. And then for October the 22nd, being as high as 38.54. So what this tells us right away, BBIG does continue to have short squeeze potential, and shorts have been increasing their positions overall. So what this means is if we have more buying pressure coming into the stock, we can look forward to seeing some strong moves to the upside, and especially taking into consideration the short borrow fee rate and the shares that are available. Keep this one on your radar. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 42.38, and then on the outflow, it was at 43.15. So we end up having an outflow day. When we take a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 0.25. On the medium, it was 29.17, and then on the small, it was 12.96. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 0.63. On the medium, it was 28.57, and then on the small, it was 13.95. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the Friday that just passed being that outflow of 380.29. Going further into the breakdown, what we could see on the retail side, there was a lot more selling than there was buying, but there is still some interest there, and keep in mind these values are in the millions when we covered it. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we have a lot more buying, more inflows that were coming into the stock. And then when we take a look at the large, we already know the large scale orders ended up winning out. And you're just seeing this overall in general tells us institutions, they were selling out quite a bit. And then also quickly, just to take a look at what the turnover ratio was, it was around 51.35%. So yes, this is up there, but do keep in mind, as far as volume is concerned and demand, it is still there for BBIG. And it's part of the reasons why I say to keep this on the radar. Now, so let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, this is a play I'm going to continue to keep on my watch list. Also, make sure you're setting up your alerts. Many people are telling me I missed it when it got down to $5.01. So if you know that's an area where you can get a strong bounce, set your alerts up in whatever trading software or whatever program or whatever brokerage that you use. You can set up an alert when a stock hits a particular price. So you can go in, do your research, figure that out. So when you do get that opportunity, you can say, well, you know what? I might consider actually taking a position, because of course this is not financial advice. You just don't automatically buy, all right? You want to make sure you see what the setup is looking like. As far as resistance is concerned, you can see the $6 level is going to be an area to keep a very close eye on. We did have a bounce. We did have some momentum that happened inside of the after hours, but we know the bulk of the volume happens during regular trading hours. So we could have a lot of selling or we could have a lot of buying. But one thing that is very clear, there is demand for BBIG shares. But do know, there are a lot of traders that are shifting their attention over to Trump-related stocks. So this is part of the reasons why many plays have been pulling back inside of the market. Could we see a continuation of this going in for the coming week or even for Monday? Most definitely. So if it ends up dipping or it ends up pulling back, make sure you're doing your homework and doing your due diligence before you go in and actually do that. For anyone who's actually trading, then of course you could find those opportunities and making sure that you're using the right risk management. So what that means is having your stop loss, knowing what your entry is, and also knowing, okay, where am I going to be taking my profits? And as far as for anyone who's going to be doing the buy and hold technique, when you are adding to your position, you want to do it on pullbacks. You just don't want to be adding when the stock keeps hitting highs or when it keeps running up. So for example, I know some people got into BBIG and have an average cost around $7, $8, $9. So if you believe in the long-term prospects, when it pull back to the $5 level, this is a way for you to actually average down, get that cost looking nice. So at least when it begins to start running up, getting back into the $7 range or into the $8 range, things are looking good for you. But again, you're not going to be doing this if you're not that confident inside of the play. And it's part of the reasons why when you do take a position, you don't go all in on one go. I want to make sure I emphasize that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.